think that the incident that we had a client that made me think about this is when you look at what we see here throughout, it's really probably worthwhile the whole ESOMAR Congress because you see so much, you have so much input and so many new ideas. So I guess maybe it's worthwhile to also have some clients from time to time. It would be an incentive for some clients maybe to join. And it would be a situation where we can position ourselves as a group. I don't know whether that might be an idea we should think about.
No, I think it's a good idea, really.
In fact, the learning getting from here is even better than the ESOMAR because of one thing. We are more free to give information. In the ESOMAR, it's usually the umbrella, the mean of a heart more than the inside. And this is also, it could be very valuable for the client.
Yeah.
And in the same time, it gives the image of Iris. That's Iris Group, this is Iris Network. This is the build on the strengths of each one. So if I want, for instance, to do something for shopper, well, we have the competence center in Colombia, for instance. If I want something for the facilitation things of making decision, I have another competence center in Romania or whatever it is. So I think it's an excellent idea.
I thought so too. I mean, it's one of these coincidences that make life rich, and I thought it was a good idea. And I think it is also easily implemented in other meetings, that the host just invites one or two or even three friendly customers, so to speak, people that they know well, that help them strengthen the relationship, their personal relationship, and the client get a lot out of it. I mean, we also did twice a larger version of that, namely the client day afterwards that we started in Shanghai and then we did in Munich, which I think had significant benefits, definitely, but it's a different story. I mean, you really have to put up a show, and it's a lot of work to arrange a client day with, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 clients.
And I see it really, it's a different format, absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
It might be really an incentive, but it might also be a resource for us. You know, asking them, what do you think, where are you? And we might not get clients from all countries, but maybe around the country where it's taking place all the time. So it might be, we have to probably change the agenda a little bit so we have time for our topics, which we don't need to do publicly. But hey.
Maybe even getting a client validation on some of the things we're doing, just, you know, what do you think?
Yeah,
Does it make
absolutely.
sense?
And it's an honor.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, it brings them.
Yeah.
And they feel part of it. And after all, when we present, for example, to the clients that we are part of Iris network, we've seen that, okay, it's very difficult for them to understand this in-between positioning. You are not, as I already told you yesterday, Katarina, you are not a multinational, you are not an independent, you are an in-between, let's say, type of organization.
Yeah.
And the benefit they immediately see is in terms of know-how exchange, really, honestly, because Harper just told us yesterday that this is not a fieldwork exchange program, right? Clients intuitively and quickly understand this. So the next question when I present that we are part of Iris is, and you benefit from know-how out of the network. For example, what's the last thing that you've learned from the network? And they've seen wisdom of crowds on our predictive approach on our website, and they thought that this is something that I learned from Iris. And they were very interested to know more about it. So I realized that this is the expectation related to our form of organization, and giving them the opportunity to be here is like, you know, giving them hard facts, the evidence that this is about leverage, the know-how by exchanging, you know, expertise. So I think it's a very good idea, and we can do it with new clients that we see as potential clients, or even loyal, stable, but very close relationship with clients that we want to reinforce, you know,
Yeah.
the relationship with them. And this could be a reward as well. We just have to establish the limit
A limit, yeah.
number, yeah, not to transform it, not to, you know, lose this.
It should be an honor really to be
Yeah,
invited.
yeah, exactly.
And I would, you know, when I would think about such a network from outside, and I would be presented from a research institute, well, we are part of a network. I would say, yeah, a network, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would guess that nobody would ever assume that something like this is taking place twice a year.
Yes, yeah. Yeah,
Because
they have
most-
the impression, I'm sorry, they have the impression that it's something that we are just saying to make it more real. Really, this is what I feel when I talk about it, you know.
Just saying, Barry, you want to say something?
Yeah, the conversation reminds me that we have a client advisory committee that meets a couple of times a year for one of our companies. And there may be some aspects of the format of that might fit in here. It wouldn't be exactly the same. But, so this is a group, the numbers are different. It might be about 12 people, but it could be smaller. And they represent a range of companies and areas. And they're asked to come and participate in this and to sort of take off their corporate hat and to be just smart clients. And each session has a topic or maybe two topics. And so if I could kind of translate from that company to our group, it might be maybe the formats of presentations and deliverables and what they like or dislike about what they're getting, what they see in the future. Or qualitative research, is it meeting their needs? Are they seeing things that are really interesting? What do they anticipate? And it's, you know, an effort is made to have the conversation, I don't mean to say at an academic level, but at a non-commercial level. You know, no one's trying to sell anybody. In fact, one of the agreements in their participation, and one of our challenges, is not to have anyone around the table, you know, our staff say, oh yeah, we have a product like that, I could meet with you next week, or you're going to, you know, not allowed to talk about anything like that, just sort of the ideas and insights.
And I think that's something we need to take into consideration. I don't want to change the chemistry of the meeting, because right now it's very candid, it's open, we talk about things that work and things that fail. And I think that is very important. So, and if we have too many clients, we might actually tailor this towards them, and it becomes a client event. And like the event in Shanghai or in Munich had a different chemistry. It was a sales presentation. It was a I am great. Yeah? And this should not be, but if we maybe keep the numbers at least smaller, we should kind of approach it by small increments. I think we can test the amount of clients that this meeting can take without it changing its flavors.
Yeah,
We
two or
have
three at the
dynamic
most in the one meeting. 2 or 3 at the most in one meeting.
Osvaldo.
This lady from Peru was very impressed with what she saw here. And I think we have to think of that as a great opportunity she came. Because she saw many things different, the way we approach different countries, different. So she was really, really interested. But we think we have to think about the whole network as using it alone for hours, because network compared to other networks, we are small, we have several different characteristics. So we should add another word before the word network that we represent what it has to give. It's many methodologies, many country experiences, many ways conducting research, things like that that really benefit a client sitting here and listening to this language.
I think to one limiting factor, I mean, from the inside, because you said we should maybe have very specific topics on that day. I think it will be difficult. I mean, frankly, when we ask for papers and presentations, it's not that we have to fend off everybody and throw half of the suggestions out, right? We scramble to get the meeting complete and have meaningful stuff so that it actually works together. And we will not be able to change this unless we double our member base, then we might. But right now, I think we have to live sometimes with a mix of topics, which I think is great. Yeah, because there's so many surprises in it that are refreshing. But we have to live with a mix of topics that we cannot always structure in advance. I think that is a limiting factor. We just need to keep in mind. So I would not invite them and say, look, you're going to get 2 days of how to, what does the best presentation in the world look like? You will not be able to master.
And also in terms, because I don't know, there's only this number of methodologies we have. We're not that many, and we're not going to be developing every year another methodology, a new methodology. So at some point, I thought we were going to have to present more big cases.
Yes.
Particular cases that
Of
we can
course.
share, that were good experiences,
Exactly.
remarkable
And good learning.
experiences, because they were.
And good learning and
Yeah,
inspiration.
exactly.
Hey, I mean, we are.
But that's useful. too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, here around this table are, I don't know, 20, 25, sometimes 30 managing directors of international marketing institutions. I mean, where do you get such a density of market research intellectual? I mean, this is a wealth in itself, and whatever those people have to tell is really interesting.
Yes, I agree with you.
I'm not so much.
I'm not either. I'm just saying I would
No,
take the agenda towards.
Yeah, I think you wanted to keep the balance, not to make, well, if it is 10 clients or more, then
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
go for a client event.
Yeah.
It won't
If
be.
it is 1, 2,
It won't be
3,
right.
that would be a manageable number, which would be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They
I
are
think
there,
this is
they're
the
not,
point here.
yeah, they're not in the way, so to speak. Their input is valuable, but we don't tailor everything towards it.
Yeah.
We can agree.
And maybe, for example, we are having 2 days, yeah? Maybe we can reserve certain hours is only Iris member hours.
Sure, we need that.
Yeah, and we keep that, so we can share, and then the hours is, well,
What was